Yeah, we're just gonna go. What room am I 7 for?
Gummy bears.
Do you know the theme song to Gummy Bears?
I don't.
Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. Because we are the Gummy Bears.
No, I'm glad I don't. No.
It's not
Does
Canadian.
it sound just like that?
Didn't have a Canadian Gummy Bears on Canadian Access TV?
Not that I recall.
No.
No.
Not that you recall. Anyway, welcome to room 714.
That's cool. I like that.
We don't normally do podcasts on the go, or just record audio, but we figured Peter's here, throw the R5 Mark II up in the room on a trash can using lights that I put, what are those things called? Pillowcases on.
This is about as like MacGyver as it gets.
The crazy thing is we've never really hung out beyond like 5 minutes at Vid Summit once.
In a lobby.
And we've
Full of people.
texted before.
Yeah.
Like we've been texting since when you started to blow up back in the day. I remember we talked on the phone once and I was just like running through why I think you were becoming successful and we did that whole thing and I don't know, we've just text back and forth and this is
we're like pen pals without pens.
Well, we could have typewritten and sent with our typewriters.
I would do that. I do that.
What typewriter do you have?
I have 3. My favorite is a 1930 Royal P.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have my grandfather's Remington 1906.
Cool.
Had it fully retrofitted, and it is just so different to punch the keys.
Yeah.
You literally have to punch the keys.
It sounds good. It feels good. You got to kind of, I think anything analog I'm just into right now.
Which is, like, you have a book coming, film book?
Yep.
Did you announce that
hopefully.
yet? Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
All right.
I think everyone thinks it's not coming just because I think if you haven't made a book before, you have no idea how hard it is to do. You know this. And how long it takes. And I thought the process, and that's why I announced it on my channel, because I was like, I've got a book coming. It's going to be, get ready. And then I started making it and was like, oh, I announced that way too early. And then I finished it and took it to like a mentor of mine. And then he gave me 100 reasons why I should kind of redo it and change everything, which I'm glad he did because now it's way better, but it's just taken 3 times as long.
Well, and then there's the whole printing process.
Yeah.
And then there's the shipping.
Yeah.
Because you're doing it in Italy. I did mine in Italy.
Yep.
And now you have to find so it has to get shipped on a boat, probably come in the port of New York.
Yeah.
Then it's going to have to get trucked to your facility.
Yeah, we're used to all that stuff though with Pete's Pirate Life.
Pete's Pirate Life.
Yeah.
When's the scented candle of Pete's Pirate Life coming?
We've done that many times.
Oh,
sold
shit.
out of a whole bunch of them.
Sorry.
Sold them in little patina-looking barrels. We call them barrel fires.
We were talking about fragrance. We weren't talking about
Fragrance.
candles. That's what it was.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do you have car fresheners?
We did, yep.
Okay, you've done all that.
Yeah.
I don't follow the Pirate Life very hard.
We actually did them without a scent, so you could spray your own on it.
Like pee on it?
No, you could spray your own cologne.
Oh.
On like an unscented car freshener. That was the skull.
And that was the thing. That's actually that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because like you're gonna get someone that doesn't like it, no matter what you decide.
Yeah.
But this way, you can spray it with other stuff that you like. So.
Yeah. Well, this has been a long time coming. I've been trying to sit down and have a conversation, and it just doesn't line up all the time.
I don't usually I don't do podcasts ever, and that's not because like it's a snooty thing. I get invites to them, and I've kind of just said no across the board always. But it's just worked out.
Even the biggest of the big, like if the biggest of the big were calling, like, what's his name? Joe Rogan's calling. You going on?
Honestly, I don't know that I would want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think I could handle that podcast.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know what to say.
Well, you and Maddie did a bunch of them.
Yeah, I think I like doing a podcast as my own.
Yeah.
But I haven't really been a guest on any podcasts.
I love talking, so I'm a big fan. The hard part is when you get to a certain size, you get a lot of people who are like, come on my podcast. I've had 2 episodes. And they get 40 listens and 10 of them are my mom and dad.
I think it's just if I said yes to one, I would feel like I need to say yes to like everybody that's doing it. And I just, the pick and choose and like the time that it takes, I would rather put that into making a podcast of my own.
Well, here we are.
Yeah.
Making the one for me.
Yeah.
And that's why don't mind the video. This was not meant, the video is just for fun because I used to do video podcasts in 2011, way before a ton of people. And then we got up to 6 cameras, we had sliders, we did it live, it was live cut, and it just became overbearing. It became too much.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a lot because it took away from, like, we had the editor had to spend all day, and then we had to produce the thing, and then we had the live. So it was taking a whole day of time from everybody, which made it harder for us to make products that actually sell, to generate revenue, which allows us to come to Germany like we are right now, because Insta360 brought us to Germany to play with some. Well, we actually went to Leica today.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Leica?
That was my first time, and that's a huge reason why I came, because I've always wanted to go to the HQ. The mothership, dude. It's the center of the universe for people that shoot Leica.
Well, they only let people in who spend at least 50,000.
Yeah, it seems like it. So it's pretty wild.
It's like they check you at they do a retina scan.
Yeah,
and it's like, you only bought 3 Leicas in the past.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I thought it was great, man. I thought it was cool. I thought we got to see some cool stuff. I like that they have that much. I don't think a lot of brands even have that much rich history to be able to have a facility like that to show people. You know what I mean? So I think that in and of itself is very cool. I thought the factory was actually in the little town, which is apparently 10 minutes away, where like the first Leica photo was taken. So I thought that was going to be kind of part of the tour. I didn't realize that you had to just, if you want to see that, it's there. If you know about it and you get in a car and go. And Manning went and did that. And I was like, oh, and he's like, from the spot, they have like a little, it's almost like a sewer grate, like a manhole grate in the ground, where like, this is where the first Leica photo was ever taken. And there's a picture of that photo. And apparently it lines up perfectly with a 43 mil, which is why they made the Q43, the Q343, which I thought was interesting. So that would have been fun to vlog. I thought that was all within the same campus.
How come he didn't tell you?
Yeah, they told me when they got back.
He wanted it all for himself?
Yeah, I think he'd even been there before, actually. But yeah, I could have gone. But we had, as you know, it was pretty packed, like pretty packed schedule. So.
Well, you got to bring one of your cameras that needed to be repaired.
Yeah, so I heard I have an M11 and I scratched the screen significantly. And I have no idea how I did it, but it looks like I tried to carve my name in the back. Like, it is not just like a little scratch or like, oh, it's a little bump, like, oh, it got knocked by a zipper. This was like, and you saw the reaction when they saw it. They were all like, yes. This sucks. So I had thought like the only way to get this fixed fast is to bring it to Germany, but I don't want to come here to just get a camera fixed. That's crazy.
I'm here, guys. Hello, guten Tag.
Yeah, please fix it, and then I'll go back home. No, that's too much. So this worked out great, and I heard that if you do bring it on site, that they can do repairs same day. Otherwise, that would have been down for like 6 months.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I sent a lens in May, and I just got it back a couple weeks ago. So I was like, I don't want my whole camera to be, I also don't want to ship an M11. Like, those things are so expensive. I don't want to put that in a box and just send it off and be like, well, hope it makes it.
Just put enough insurance on it that if it doesn't make it, you get an M12 that doesn't exist yet.
By the time it's back. So yeah, they grabbed it and they fixed it, and they fixed the screen. They did like brand new top plates, bottom plates, battery. She was like, there was a couple scratches on the top and bottom, and we just thought we would replace it for you.
Would you want that? You want the patina?
Yes. And like that particular model is what they call like a black paint, which means underneath it is full brass. So like as it patinas, the brass starts to show through it. It comes off. It looks incredible. They just replaced them. So I was like, sick. I haven't used it enough to actually get good patina on there. Had I would have been like, no, I need those plates back.
Yeah.
That's like, I've worked for that.
Yeah.
You know, so in this case, I'm happy. It's fixed. It looks brand new. It's shining like a black Steinway piano. Like, it's beautiful.
Did you end up buying anything today?
I did. Yeah. They just released the MEV1. So it's basically like, it's kind of an M11 with an EV, an EVF, but I just couldn't spend the amount of money that they want for it to literally have what's already on the back of the screen, but in a viewfinder that I feel like doesn't look as good as the even back of the screen does. So I decided to go for a 90 mil, which I've been looking at for a while. And I thought that would change up, the F2, the Apo. And I thought like it would change up my photography a little bit because I never shoot with a 90. And on all my Leicas, I have 28s on everything. So one of my friends was like, I think you need to maybe just try something new. Like, and it's not necessarily the camera. I think you need to change your focal length. Dude, you've been shooting everything at 28 for like 3.5 years. There are other focal ranges.
Yeah.
And they might do things that get you excited about using those cameras. So I went with that.
Did you see what I bought from Leica today?
I did. You were talking about it all day. Like you came fired up for this item. You saw it. Like you had childlike wonder in your eyes. There was a glee and an aura to you that I've never seen before. Just an unbridled happiness that was just exuding from your core.
Is it here? Where?
I don't know.
Hold on, let me get up and hopefully the camera doesn't screw up. This is what I got at Leica today.
Yeah.
A bag. An expensive bag. For anybody,
And you spent a bag on it.
I know. For anybody listening at home, I'm taking out
in like a little
something.
dust bag?
Well, the woman goes, "Would you like a bag?" I was like, "For what I paid, yeah, I want a bag." So it comes in a bag. It looks like a little pillowcase.
And it's got a button closed. That's sick.
And then this is what it is. Do you know how much it is?
Didn't you pay like 125 euros for that?
Yes. No tax though.
Yeah.
It's $145 for this bear.
Why did you buy it?
Just something dumb that I can say I bought something at Leica.
Stick on the shelf.
I'll put it on the shelf as a story,
yeah.
and I can just tell people I bought it, and now I have a Leica bear that was way too expensive.
This is the price on here? I was going to say, if it is, you should keep the tag on.
Oh yeah, keep everything
always.
on. Keep everything on at all times. It's a Steidl bear, I believe. Whatever.
Little German bear.
Whatever. Stay standing, German bear.
Yeah.
Or don't say standing.
There it is. Perfect.
But anyway, my Leica experience is different. I don't own a Leica. I don't plan on probably owning a Leica. They haven't ever sent me a Leica.
Yeah, me neither.
You left with 3 today.
Yeah,
4 technically.
To borrow.
To borrow.
They're taking them back tomorrow. Yeah.
But that's cool.
Yeah.
They literally brought Peter a bag with 3 of the new cameras and 3 different lenses, and I guess you leave them at the hotel and they're going to come grab them.
He's going to come grab them tomorrow when we're done.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I remember we were just standing in the museum when the guy comes running in. He's like, "I have a new camera," and you're like, "Can I make a reel?"
Yeah.
And then literally, you might wonder, how does Peter make a reel? Well, he handed Maddie the camera. He hit record.
My phone.
Yeah, sorry. He handed him his phone.
Yeah.
He hits record. Peter starts talking for a minute or two and hits stop and then goes and puts it up on the internet.
Yeah.
There's not much thinking that has to go into it.
No. And there's obviously ways I've made reels in a much more convoluted fashion. You know what I mean? I've put a lot more time and days into reels. But I've been finding lately, when I make reels like that, it feels more like you know me. It's almost like...
Just real.
Yeah, it's way more genuine, and I think it just comes across like trustworthy and like, oh, this is just a normal dude making a video about a camera. When you see the color and the depth of field and the music and the titles and all of that, it feels like an ad. Even if it's not, it just feels like And when you see it the way we did it today, it's like, oh, this is real time. This is like, it's almost like, is this live?
Well, I mean, that brings up an interesting point about how when I started, I didn't know how to edit video.
Yeah.
And my D3S gave me 5 minutes of record time. By the time I hit record, sat in the chair, I was down to 440, and I set my original iPhone or whatever to like ting me at 15 seconds. Mm-hmm. So you would always in my early videos hear this ting because that meant wrap it up.
Yeah.
Because the 5 minutes was coming to an end.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to edit, so I knew how to in iMovie put the intro on.
Was that the first
outro.
software you used, iMovie?
Yeah. So I had to wait till Apple came out with the first 27-inch iMac.
Yeah.
That was what I bought.
Yeah.
And that came out, and that had iMovie, and that's how I started making videos. But what I was getting at there is the rawness when I did it was most of the videos were boring on YouTube. Just lame, slow, some of them overproduced, and I just thought, just do it like it is. Mm-hmm. Just do it. What was it for you that got you to make videos?
Well, I've been making videos longer than I've been taking photos, and I've been taking photos for over 20 years. My dad had a bunch of old VHS camcorders and then high 8 camcorders and mini DV camcorders, and I was using all those and rewinding them and recording over them to like get blank tape back. And we even had a Sony camera, I forget what it's called, but it took a floppy disk and you could get like a minute of video on that, and that was like digital, and that was super awesome. And I remember the first like digital editing suite that like I used was Pinnacle.
I remember Pinnacle
Studio. I was using that, and I remember like my dad bought me my first camera. He bought me a high 8 camera, but he made me promise that I would make like a family video of like, you know, that my mom could have or whatever. And I had to do that every year if he was going to buy me this camera. So I agreed, and I think I did it once. But I was always just like influenced by Jackass and CKY and skateboarding, and you know, I grew up doing that and waxing curbs and hanging out with my friends late at night, and it was just so easy to like do stupid things, jump into people's pools and, you know, skate. So started doing that and cutting little videos together and like trying to sell them to my friends in high school. Like, our new video's coming out, like I'm gonna take sign-ups so that I can like get pre-release versions if you want to be on the list. Nobody, you know what I mean? You and the guy making it. But that's where I started doing it. And then I think I kind of got bored, moved into photography later, and did that forever. And I only got back into video probably when YouTube came around for me.
What was the catalyst for YouTube? Like, what was it that was like, you know what, I'm gonna start making photo-related YouTube videos?
Well, I was working for a company and I was doing all their videos and video production. So I was already editing, and I was working that job for 8 years, teaching magic. So I was a magician for 15 years, and we would like invent magic tricks and fly over the world and film people who were coming up with their own magic tricks, and I would do all the instructional videos for them. So like a lot of people didn't know how to be on camera, so I was helping them be, you know, have like a good presence and how to actually deliver things and how to say things or how to get good hooks and that kind of stuff. So I was already kind of naturally good at that, plus the performance side of being a magician for 15 years. So those two things together made it really easy to just transition into YouTube. So the comments initially were like, wow, this guy's really good at teaching and he's really fun and charismatic to watch. But those are just two things that I was already doing for like more than a decade before that. I just put them on YouTube instead of where we were doing them, right? And at the time I was using Vimeo, and I always thought it was like the artist's YouTube. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine who's also a YouTuber, Chris Ramsey. He did like a lot of puzzles and stuff like that. And he was like, you should start a channel. And I was like, nah, man, I'm on Vimeo. And he's like, well, if you actually want people to see your work, like you should put it on YouTube. So I reluctantly was like, okay, I just don't know what I would do. And he's like, well, you're always teaching people, like when you're shooting all these videos for this magic company, like you're always showing us like cool hacks and things you do with your camera. Like you're always doing weird shit with it. Make a video about that. I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, about what? Like, what would I even do? And he's like, I don't know. Those are like, they're cool little like hacks that you do with your camera. Just make a whole video of those. I was like, I do like 20. And I was like, I probably have like less than 10. He's like, 7. I was like, I could probably do 8. He's like, hey, eight camera hacks. But give yourself a time limit so it's like interesting. And I was like, yeah, I could probably do it in like less than a minute. He's like, yeah, do that. So that was the first thing I tried. Because he was like, when was the last time you actually made something for you and not for this company? Because, you know, I was just getting kind of burnt out.
Yeah.
So I tried that, and it didn't go viral right away. I remember like I made it and sent it to like every type of like publication I could think of, like Uncrate and High Consumption and Cool Material, and I like emailed it literally everywhere. Probably like 50 places, being like, hey, I found this cool video on the internet, like this is kind of rad.
It's not me. It's not me.
Yeah, like from Peter McKinnon, like the email of Peter McKinnon. And then I guess someone posted it. I remember Dig. There's a site called Dig.
Dig was big.
They posted it.
What's his name? Rose.
I don't know.
Kevin Rose.
I just remember seeing in the YouTube backend, because you can see like external sources or whatever, and Dig was one of them. And I was like, oh, what's that? And then when they posted it, that started the other sites like that being like, oh, okay, like they probably all recycle each other's content and stuff like that. So it started kind of popping up, and then it started growing and getting more views. And I remember being like, sick, this is awesome. My friend's like, make another one. I was like, well, I don't know, I guess I could teach another camera thing. Like maybe I'll just teach like how I make one of my videos. I haven't really made many, but this is how I would do it if I was making like a photo video. So I was like, I'll just teach like how I would edit something in Premiere. So I did that, and then that did good. And I was like, I guess I'll teach how I edit some photos in Photoshop. And then it was a snowball that just got kicked downhill. And as it rolled, it just grew and grew. And at the beginning, you have an infinite amount of ideas. You're like, I worked at a camera shop like you, right? So I was like, people would come in all the time and be like, can you clean my sensor? Like, how do I do that? I'm like, give me your camera, I'll clean it right now. Like, get my Arctic butterfly. No one probably even knows that reference.
Dude, I called that the shittiest product ever.
But that's what I had.
Did you know what, I mean, for those...
The little static brush.
And it spun.
Yeah.
But the problem was it moved oil around the sensor on the Nikons.
Well, the sensor was like always dry. Like I would use that first to lift the static, and then I would use like the squeegee with like the...
Yeah, I never used this. I never wanted to do it.
I did it all the time, dude. All the time. Yeah, maybe I messed up cameras for people all the time. But it was like... Back then, I would make it all. I would make everything. Now I'm way more particular and stuck up about my own ideas and what I would like deem worthy of making. But back then there was just no filter. It was just like bliss as far as ideas go. So I was like, I'll make a video about cleaning my sensor. Like right now, if you told me to make that video, I'd be like, no one cares about that. I'm not going to do that.
But that's the thing is there's sometimes the mundane works.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure that video would actually do well because I don't care and don't want to make it.
Yeah.
Which seems to be the case.
Do you think that early on, if you got hate quickly, that it would have hindered your ability to keep making content?
No, I mean, like, I think because it was working and I was excited, I just didn't care. I care more now, which is interesting. I think back.
What do you care about now? Like, what do you care about?
I think when I was more like, I always call it like the rocket to the moon era. Like when it was like rocket to the moon, I just didn't have time to stop and read comments or really worry about what people didn't like about me.
2016?
That's just on them. 2017, 18, 19, like those 3 years. Like if you didn't like me, like, okay, yeah. Anyway, like what do I care? I don't even know who you are. Like I am proud of what I'm doing. I'm excited about what I'm doing. I'm having fun about what I'm doing. So if you don't like it, that's a you problem, not a me problem. And you know what? You're allowed to not like it. And you might not like me, and that's totally fine. I've watched old videos of myself and I understand some of the criticism. Even now I'm like, that's a lot of energy. Like I don't know if I have that much anymore. And maybe I don't because I'm almost 9 years older than when I started. But it's okay. I accept that and I understand the criticism, and it's okay to have those opinions. There's actors I don't like. The difference is I'm just not going to send them an email that like I want them to die, or find them on Instagram and troll them because I just have better things to do. But what I just won't watch their movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or I just move on with my life. Like I just literally have a singular other thought. So
why does it bother you today more than it did then?
I think because now that it's harder to harvest ideas and it's harder to generate content because I've done so much of it, that I'm a little more, I think maybe like, I'm a little more particular about the videos that I make. So they're harder for me to make, and they're more painful to make. Like they require a lot more of me now. So the criticism, I think, like hurts my feelings more than it did in the past when I could just like rip 3 videos in, I remember I went to New York for like a day and a half and made 5 videos. Right? I came back with 5. Like I don't even know how I would never be able to do that now. So I think now, like, to make 5 videos would take me a month at least. So I think if I take a month to make like a single video or a couple videos and there's like a lot of criticism on it, it just hurts more. It doesn't make sense.
So how do you deal with the mental issues that YouTube brings? Because you brought me mental issues, and I told you this the other day. That's
not my fault.
It's not your fault.
That's a you problem.
It was a me problem.
Yeah.
I had to deal with it. It took me months to figure it out. But basically what happened is in the Rocket era where new channels came along, I started in 2010, and here we are in 16, 17, 18, and new channels were just getting elevated, and old channels were watching numbers drop. And I was like, well, this guy just came along and 50,000 subscribers. 5 days later, he's at 100,000. 8 months, 9 months later, you're at 1 million, and you were there with Casey Neistat all over the world doing shit, and you were already growing then, and that gave you a nice little bump as well. But you just exploded. That was hard for me because anytime you get passed in anything, you're never going to be. I'm not saying I was the best, but I was doing things that other people weren't. And then a new guy comes along and it's like, "What's up, motherfuckers? I'm this guy," and I'm like,
I love the impression, dude.
Yeah. But it was hard.
Yeah.
And then I finally, I accepted what was happening. We talked, I called you and talked to you about some things, and that was just once. I mean, that was like, I thought about killing my channel.
Yeah.
And starting over, because that was the era where if you started over, there were like the Mango Street and Jessica Kobasi, these people that barely.
You thought like maybe I'll catch my stats and pass them if I start a new one.
Right. Like, whoa. But this isn't.
That's a normal, like, logical pattern of thinking. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that.
What I think people don't realize is, like, you just passed 6 million.
Yeah.
I have 1.5 million. But we still all worry about the same as someone who has 10,000 subscribers.
Oh yeah, dude. It's
literally the same.
Yeah. same problems, same. And I think that's how you actually end up coping and dealing with these mental things, like you were saying. I think you talk to other people that are going through the same things, right? And you're reassured that like you're not crazy, and that there are other people that feel the way you do, and it's like validating to know that like, all right, like I'm not alone in this, and this is something that other people also experience. I'm not singular to this, and it doesn't make me crazy.
Well, it certainly helps to talk to other people in the industry. Like I'm a sounding board for a bunch of photo YouTubers. They call and they ask, and I call them and ask like, what are they seeing going on? But no, it is true. We are across the board. If you notice something, it's absolutely happening on this end as well.
Yeah.
And there's things that YouTube do to us on the back end that really mess with our mental state.
10 of 10?
The 10 of 10 thing. They think it's meant to help you. Like, maybe consider changing your thumbnail and title. No shit, asshole.
Views are 38% less.
Thanks. Yeah. Fuck you. You
People
suck.
are enjoying this 40% less than normal. I'm going to get a 10 of 10 tattoo. I think it's great. And I'm for sure, I might get 9 of 10 because it's like more of a slap, because it's like, this is almost the shittiest thing you've ever made.
So people listening at home may not understand on the back end. If you've never uploaded a video, they literally tell you in your last 10 videos, the next video that you put up is a 1 of 10, meaning it's doing the best compared
of the last 10.
Or if it's a 10 of 10, it's like,
it's in 10th place of the last 10 videos.
Right, it's the worst video you've put out of the last 10. And you sit there and you're like, and it could be on a video, like I put out a user guide on a new camera. Like I could put out an R5 Mark II user guide. That video is going to do like 6,000 in the first day, which is terrible. 5 years from now, it has 800,000 because it's meant to be a long burn video, and that's
5 years ago. It might have been 800,000 in 5 days.
Well, no, I don't. Well, maybe for you.
Yeah,
I've never done that. I've never seen that.
Not anymore, and that's also like a realization that I think a lot of people can have a hard time with. And you know, you look at a channel, you're like 6 million subscribers, and like, it's hard to hit 150,000 sometimes. And I don't necessarily like blame it on YouTube or someone changing the algorithm. I think at times I'm to blame for it. I think if your content isn't doing well, find a way to make better content. Make something that's more engaging, or find out what you've done within that content that's just not hitting with people. And I think that can be interesting and fun to explore. At the same time, it can be discouraging. You know, but there's only one solution, that's to just make another one.
Yeah.
So as hard as that is, sometimes you just swallow it and you go, okay. And it's a different world. It's a different audience. It's a different platform. That you're a different person. The gears, everything's changed. So I think I've spent a lot. I'm saying I think a lot. I've spent a lot of time mourning the version of myself from like 2018, 17. You know, those years. Missing that, like that section of my career, and how easy it was and how fun it was, but coming to realize it just doesn't exist on all fronts anymore. The people that grew up watching my videos are now either like professional photographers making their own channels. They're a competition now, which is cool. I'm fine with it, and I think you need to accept that.
And this is an evolutionary game that we play. Like, what you are for 2 years doesn't mean you have to stay that way. And we are constantly evolving. We have to evolve. And it's like, but don't chase trends. Set the fucking trends.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people literally copied everything you did. I mean, camera companies, we call it Steven and I call it the Peter McKinnon mode when black bars show up on a Sony.
Oh, yeah.
You hit a button and it's the Peter McKinnon mode.
Yeah. Like I used to keyframe those in.
Yeah. Right? Like you changed. It's like
I
Will Chamberlain.
I want to be the
stuff.
boat that makes the wake. I don't care how many people surf it behind me, but I'm the boat that makes it.
But there was a time I think I asked you, I'm like, with everybody copying your thumbnail style, does that hurt your video when you put it out?
I don't know.
You know?
I don't know. Maybe, but it doesn't really matter.
No, it didn't.
You know?
Yeah. Because you evolve, you change. We've seen a ton. I mean, I've seen a ton of creators come and go over the years.
I will say I agree. Consistency seems to be very difficult for people, and there are very few that are just still doing it. You're one of them. I'm one of them. You're saying Maddie was one of them. He did take a year off, but
he did.
But still, every single week I make a video, despite everything that's happening in my life, personally, professionally, what happens on the algorithm. general interest within photography, the audience changing, I'll still find something to do. And I think I've done a decent job at also expanding a little bit beyond photography.
I don't think people understand the business aspect of the amount of work that goes into, you can make videos all day, but if you don't understand how to run a business, and I think you epitomize running a business beyond YouTube with Pete's Pirate Life, and I was telling you the other day about your design.
Yeah.
Like, your design skills are insane for, and I'm jealous of this stuff. It's hard for me to give compliments. Like when someone won that photo contest today from Insta360, and I'm like, that photo won? You might have seen my face when I went up and looked.
I did see it.
It was the worst photo, one of the worst photos. I'm sorry, that was a terrible photo. Inside baseball here, but I'll get away from it. But seeing what you did with your first, the studio when you bought that building, the 2,000 square foot one, you get the beautiful paint, this black paint, and then you've got a cargo net, and you've got all these things. I'm like, how the hell did you come up with this shit?
Yeah, I've always been really interested in it. I've always been really inspired by spaces. I've always been fascinated looking at how people set up their living rooms or their office, or why they choose to put a shelf where they do, or why they choose to cram what they cram on a bookcase, or why Gary Vee has 9 million things on shelves behind him. I've always been really fascinated with that. No, he has like...
No, I'm doing his 5 thing that he always does in pictures.
when he hangs out, yeah.
He was on Frono's Photo Raw Talk episode 18, by the way.
Was he?
18.
That's cool.
That's like 500 ago.
Yeah. I did a video under his desk once.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. That was that weekend. I did 5 videos in a day and a half.
There you
That's
go.
one of them. I think I don't know. I'm just good at it. There's no rhyme or reason. I think it's just a passion.
Do you accept that you're good at shit? Can you acknowledge that you're like top of the game?
Yeah, I think I don't have a problem with that.
Own it.
And there's definitely things I'm not good at, and that's okay. But yeah, I'm lucky to be pretty good at a lot of the interests that I spend my time doing.
What has YouTube afforded you the ability to do that you couldn't have done before YouTube?
Take more photos of whatever I want. I mean, I used to work in a factory, and it was near the airport, and I watched planes fly over this factory because it was right next door, and I worked right where the door was cracked all the time with this little 2x4 to let more air in, and I watched those planes fly over and over and over and over, and I just remember thinking, like, one day I would love to be on one of those planes going wherever I wanted just to take photos, and that was what I was paid for. And now I look down on all of the, not figuratively, but like, I see all the buildings as the plane takes off, and I'm with my camera in an airplane going to Germany to take photos.
For 2 days.
For 2 days. And I just think like that's the coolest thing that could ever happen. And it came true in spades. I get to fly around the world and take photos. And I think YouTube has afforded me just more opportunities to use my camera in more places with more people. You saw it today. Met the CTO of Leica. He was a fan. He's seen my work. That's cool. That wouldn't happen without YouTube. People are stopping their cars in the streets and getting out to take pictures with me. Frankfurt has been wild. That wouldn't happen without YouTube. I could still be a great photographer, maybe even better than I am right now. But without YouTube, no one's stopping their cars to take photos. I'll add like a little caveat to that. There could be a world where that happens, but it's way more unlikely. Yeah. And it would probably be a way harder path to get to that level of notoriety as a photographer where people are stopping their cars without a platform like this that can just absolutely send you to the stratosphere and in front of everybody globally, where you can get recognized in a hotel in Kenya and people will stop their car in a street in Frankfurt, and I can be downtown Toronto and someone will drop off a check at a restaurant and want a photo.
It's pretty crazy what the democratization of content has allowed for anybody. Anybody sitting and watching can do it. Doesn't mean that they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Like I always say, like I remember Gary Vee talking at events, and it's just like, there might be 2,000 of you, and he'd say, motherfuckers here, 1% of you are going to actually go home and do something.
To what I said.
I was one of those 1%.
Yeah.
Back in 2008, when I heard Gary Vee speak, when I was photographing an event for free, just to get in the door.
I do that stuff all the time.
Just to get in the door, there was a $3,000 ticket. I didn't pay for it. I said, hey, I'll photograph it. Just put me up in the hotel. And I didn't want to hear Gary Vee because he was an obnoxious New Yorker, still is. But what he said resonated. He goes, there's no secret to being successful. you need to work your fucking ass off, and you need to be good. And you shouldn't really, that's it. Don't go follow him now, because a lot of that information it just gets convoluted after 6 months. But it was the right thing.
Did you do a lot of free work?
Yes and no. I still do free stuff because YouTube affords me the ability to shoot what I want when I want to shoot it.
Yeah.
So it can open the doors that if I want to go travel somewhere, not get paid, do a project, my 6 degree project, where I spend a day in the life of interesting people, and then they send me somewhere else and make the connection. I've gotten book covers off of that. I've gotten paid for things just by being there, because you know what? When they needed something, they knew I had the work. They already needed it. Like Lewis Howes, you ever see the School of Greatness podcast guy? Someone sent me to him, and I'm in his apartment where he did his podcasts, and he's talking about how he needs a new photo for his book. And I had him sitting facing the window, the big sliding door, beautiful soft light coming in, and I go like this, and I turn the camera around, and he goes, "Oh, I'm not going to need to hire a photographer now," which wasn't a good thing, because I was like, oh, someone's not getting paid. But then they ended up using it for the cover. Cool. So Random House Penguin calls, we negotiate how much I want for the US cover. Then they're like, well, England wants it, so England calls, they get it. Germany wants it, they get it. And before you know it, I made like 8 to 10 grand on something I never intended to make 8 to 10 grand on.
Yeah, I mean, the reel you talked about that I made earlier. I'm not paid by Leica. I buy all my own cameras. Someone handed me that new camera that came out today. Like, this is pretty cool. I should make a reel. I didn't get paid by the brand to do that, but I'm still happy to do it because it might lead somewhere. Leica might see that and be like, this guy's pretty cool.
Let's make a
He
Peter
just did that
McKinnon
because
Leica edition.
he did. Okay, well, let's get him. What if we paid him to actually do this for real? Then what would we get? And now I have a job for Leica just because I made that reel. My friend says he always operates on the 3 Bs. That either builds a bridge, his book, or a bank account. I always thought that was cool.
The book, you mean like contacts, right?
Yeah, like a bridge, as in that's relationships and meeting new people. His book, like his portfolio, and he can build that and get, that is valuable in and of itself, or his bank account.
Contacts are so important.
Yeah.
Because you shoot the way you shoot, you can meet other people, in the industry who do similar things. I mean, the doors just do open.
Yeah.
And it's like, it is frustrating when people are like, you're getting paid. You're getting paid to do all this shit. It's like,
well, you go to work and get paid?
Yeah, but you're not getting paid for everything. You put in the hard work to allow you to get paid. Like you just said, I didn't get paid by Leica today, but that thing has, a couple 100,000 views really quick?
Yeah, probably.
It had like 6, you're like, it has 80,000 in 10 minutes.
Let's just look right now.
And the point is that you just do these things, just do it. You don't have to think so hard.
200,000?
200,000.
Yeah.
And it was a 2-minute thing.
Yeah.
And of course, it was a 10-year thing to build to the point
It's the
where you
iceberg
could do
effect.
it. Yeah. We talk about the negative comments. We try not to read them and worry about it, because we're not making content for those people.
No, and they're always going to be there. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you make.
You can't make everybody happy. My dad always said, try to make everybody happy. You make nobody happy. It's better to have 50% of the people love you, 50% of the people hate you, than 100% not care.
Yeah.
So you can't try to make everybody happy. If you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?
Still something to do with photography. I don't think I'll ever do any work that doesn't require a camera. Like we talked, design is likely something that I would be interested in, but I would still have to involve my camera somehow. Maybe the spaces I was designing would come with my photography, or I would incorporate it in some fashion. But something creative like that.
Any job I ever tried to get before I was like a photographer still incorporated. I remember going to an interview for a realtor in like 2006, right? Way before. I was a photographer, and they were looking for people to sell.
2006, that's when I joined iStock Photo and made enough money to buy my first car.
You made enough money on that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I got in like right at the beginning. I would run into model homes and shoot them before they realized what I was doing, so I could get like brand new, clean pictures of homes without anybody in them, straight onto iStock, car dealership parking lots, iStock. I was making like 10,000 a photo.
Wow.
Crazy.
Well, that was when money was,
no one was doing
stock.
it. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went for this gig and I brought my portfolio, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, you should probably be taking photos of these houses, and I can go do that for you, and that's going to benefit you. Like, they weren't doing that stuff. Like you could lead people. I don't know if you know this, but one of the reasons I started making my own content is in the few years prior to me starting YouTube, me and another guy tried to do social media for bands before that term was coined. And the problem was the bands that could afford it didn't want it or need it at the time, and the bands that couldn't afford it or needed it couldn't pay for it.
Yeah.
And then I would give these guys recommendations, like 5 guys in a band. Okay, you're into movies. I want a movie review on Monday. Tuesday, oh, you're into photography? I want a photography video. You're into food? Like this. And I gave them the roadmap that I thought would work in 2005.
Yeah.
Nobody paid attention.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, I'm like, fuck it. I'm doing this for myself.
Yeah, they're probably all doing it now.
There's a thing my one buddy said, and I've said it publicly, but it resonated with me. He's like, when he becomes successful, he's gonna buy one of those old brick buildings in Philly, and then I can have an office there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That stuck with me.
That's cool.
Because now I own 5 of those fucking
Yes, you
buildings,
do.
and he can have an office there if he wants. And I don't mean it in a bad way. He's more than welcome
No.
anytime. I like being I like being the successful. It's better than being the alternative.
Yeah.
But then there's always someone bigger who comes along.
But that's cool because you can always learn from those people.
Yeah.
And I love being the smallest fish in the room. I've got lots of different kind of networks of friends, YouTube friends, other types of friends, and different little pockets, and you kind of all have your own little thing. In some of those pockets, I'm absolutely like the small fish where they're like, "Oh, Pete, that's cute what you're doing, man. Like just the little YouTube videos," and I learn so much from those guys, and I love to be humbled like that. So I think it's good. I think it's good to get to live both of those.
Do you know what those groups do differently than not lower end, but people that maybe aren't as successful yet? They talk about finance.
Oh, yeah.
They talk about business. They share everything,
Yep.
because there's no reason to hide it.
They just want me to be bigger. They're like, how could, like, what we love what you're doing right now. Like, so proud of you. Like, that's so sick. What are you doing about this right now? And I'll be like, well, I don't think I've ever even thought about that. They're like, okay, what about this?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what that is. He's like, all right, I got to introduce you to this dude. And I'm like, okay. Next thing you know, I've got newer friends and I'm learning more things and just growing more. My channel might not be growing, but I'm growing in other ways, and businesses are going to grow and come from that. And, you know, how long do you think you'll be a YouTuber for?
Me?
Yeah.
I was posed this question by someone we were talking to the other day, and I don't see a time when I stop making content.
Yeah.
I do see it as a means to an end of some sort, but it affords me so many things that why would I stop? I love creating.
Yeah.
And if I can continue to do that and then focus on, you know, maybe doing something bigger like the bowling show, which I can't say here where it's going yet because we haven't announced that officially, but creating something beyond that affords me the ability to spend the time that I've invested 4 years in a project like that.
Do you get asked that a lot?
What's next?
Like, I guess, yeah, how long will you make videos for, or what's next?
I love it. And I also don't have much of a life personally. I mean, I have a personal life, but it's not like, even if I had a family, I would incorporate that into a different aspect of creating. I'm still going to create. I don't see any reason why I should stop. Other part of the reason is I have employees, and I do feel an obligation to them and their growing families to keep them making bank. You know, when we make money, when we do well, they do well. Like, that's important to me. And that's good because I think this is one of the best jobs. It's super, for me, it's a good, I mean, Steven will tell you, it's like, it's still a job. I'm like, Steven, it's an easy job.
Yeah.
We make YouTube videos for a living. Like, but there's still a lot of work that goes into it. And Steven busts his ass and Dan busts his ass doing all this stuff. I can't see a reason to stop. I like what it allows me to do. Travel the world.
Yeah. No, I've always loved when Casey said YouTube's the finish line. I think sometimes when people ask me, what's next? I find it a bit of an annoying question because I think, well, why does there need to be a next? I'm doing what I've always wanted to do and I'm getting paid to do it. This is the end. Like, I've reached the summit. Like,
Wait, hold on. Let me cross
happy.
off that question. What is next? It's not the question.
Yeah, I know.
It's not what I have.
But I've reached the peak, right? Like, but I think maybe the way you're portrayed online and the stuff you share depicts this very special life that for times it is, but there's also times where you're just not doing a whole lot. And I think that expectation that you're always out doing something prompts those types of questions. Where are you flying to next?
Yeah.
What's the next project? What's next for you? And I'm like, oh, nothing. Oh, what are you working on? I'm like, same.
Yeah.
And I think people are waiting for these, oh, I've got this Antarctica project where I'm going to be going onto this glacier. And it's not always that. It's just, I'm going to go to work and make another video. And sometimes it is just a job like that. Sometimes I get to hang out in Germany and go to Leica. But sometimes too, I'm at my desk for weeks.
People don't get that aspect of it. Like Steven will tell me all the time, like, you need to go do something. You free, you can go, we're editing. We already did the work. You need to go. I'm like, but I feel like I need to sit here and come up with more stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to just go. Like, there's other trips that people offer us that are like 5 days in Malta. And I'm like, no, I don't want 5 days of influencing where you're taking me into a pool and we're having drinks at the bar. I mean, they're having drinks at the bar right now on Insta360. Every event pays for drinks. And it's like, I don't want to do that. I want to work.
You know who's really good at stepping away and taking breaks is Maddie. I'm at the office like every day at the same time, and I'll leave like very like 9 to 5-er. But he's very inspiring to me where he'll wake up and go for a run and then come into the office at 12:30 and do what he needs to do very efficiently and then leave.
That's hard.
And I'm still there humming and hawing what I should film for the whole day. Then I'll leave maybe not filming anything. And I get home, my wife's like, how did it go? How was the day? And I'm like, I didn't move the needle at all. Meanwhile, Maddie ran a 10K, came in, I hung out with him. He had fun, made a video, went home early, and I'm still here, and I'm further behind than I was ahead when I got here today. And that pattern drives me crazy.
Have you found that fitness and getting into running has helped your mentality, your brain, something? No. And you know what? I kind of expected it to. You always hear about people like, oh, when I run, it clears my head, and I'm able to just like think about. Maybe it's because I listen to music or I listen to, I don't know. I just don't ever really come up with videos. I'm usually just trying to survive the run when Running's
I'm
tough.
out there.
Well, I never listen.
Like
when I ride my bike, I don't put any ears in. I just stick to listening, and my brain does wander.
Like maybe that's the answer. Like maybe if I just don't put AirPods in and I just go for a run, I'll be thinking more than I will be listening.
Well, but just I like the fitness aspect. Like I like working out. For me, mentally, it's like go to the gym and pick some shit up, put some shit down, forget about those shitty YouTube comments that come in. And one, it feels better for me. Like I sleep great, I eat great. I can stay up all night. I don't want to stay up all night, but I'm able to do better recovery, knock on wood. Like that's important to me. It also becomes a lifestyle. I look forward to working out. I hate leg day.
I look forward to running, but I would say like I don't get like a mad flow of ideas when I'm running or anything like that. If I did, I'd probably run way more. And way further.
So what's next, Peter? No. No, like I wanted to ask.
That's funny.
Not that exact question. It was more along the lines of, what is 5 years YouTube from now for you? Like,
I'll still be making videos for sure. Like I love it enough to do it. Will they be exactly the same as they are now? No, because they're not the same as they were 5 years ago. That's why you always get the comments from me like, make more tutorials. It's like, well, that's just kind of not the general need of the audience as a whole who watches my channel. It's also, I don't have much left to teach. I've taught almost everything that I know. And if something does come up that I feel like is very valuable for the audience, I'm happy and more than willing and wanting to share it. But these days, I would say like the channel's shifted more to inspiration to get out there and use your camera and be more of like an example of like, hey, this is how I did this. You can do this. It's Gary Vee, right? Like you can do this too. Not all of you will, but some of you will listen to these words and you'll be inspired and you'll get up after watching this video and you'll go do. That's kind of maybe a little more of where it's shifting. Now I'm noticing this shift into like analog and journaling and writing and a lot of these themes that are also getting views now from new audiences that I never had before. They're there for what's in my pencil case. Like I did a whole 40-minute video or 25-minute video, about my pencil roll. But people freaking loved it, dude. And it blew my mind. I was like, no one's gonna watch this, everyone's gonna hate it. Those comments were so positive. People loved the pencil case. And that gets me thinking like, okay, that's interesting. What else is there to explore in that world? So I think in 5 years, I have no idea, dude. It will probably have shifted twice. Another like 2 full rotations of what it started from. So it'll always be photography, but there will always be spin-offs of that. And what direction those go, I have no idea. Maybe it's design, maybe it's running, maybe as those themes and those things start to happen in your life, you know what I mean? Your kids get older and your interests change too, and your energy changes. I think I'm just going to go with the flow, and I'm going to document all of that stuff. I think my channel is like a real representation of my life in the moment. And that's always going to be changing. So when people are like, I miss the old Peter, I'm like, well, yeah, it was 8 years ago. That he doesn't exist anymore. I'm 39 now. Like, so this is the Peter that you get. And that's, again, right back to the beginning of this pod. It's like, that's a you problem. And that's you wanting something that doesn't exist anymore from a person that you don't know 8 years ago. And if you want that, you can go back and watch those videos. But this is who I am now, and this is what I can offer you. And if you don't jive with it, that's totally fine, man. No problem. Thanks for watching for all the time that you did.
I don't have much.
It's a long answer.
It's good. It's true. It's just a matter of sticking to it.
Yeah.
Doing what we do, evolving with the times.
There'll be a what's in my camera bag in 5 years for sure.
What's in my camera
But you know,
bag?
I like making those because it always changes, and I love sharing that kind of stuff. So as much as everything I just said, there are some staples, and if I love it, I'll make it.
If I love it, I make it.
Yeah.
You know, Peter, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for coming to my room.
Yeah.
Now I've got to set up everything, move everything
Your
back
room
to where
is
it was.
absolutely trash.
Yeah, but it's just cool that you can just plop a camera on a trash can.
Yeah.
And not actually, the R5 Mark II finally lets us record without stopping.
Yes.
Hopefully the
No
focus
timers.
was on. Yeah, no timers like it was. And just make content.
Yeah.
And just do it.
Just do it live.
It was great. Well, just do it live. All right, Peter, thank you.
All right, buddy.
All right, let's go hit the sauna. Are we still hitting the sauna?
I don't know.
It's only 10:30.
I have to send texts.
Time to hit the sauna.
They went without me.
Did they?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go with you, Peter. I'll go with you to the sauna.